Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 21 with the Keokuk Westerns, and a massive tip of the cap to Keith Harris, who helped me discover this terrible, terrible setting, which is now turned off. I thought it was just a part of the game that you couldn't turn off, and now it's disabled. We've got enough things holding us back, and I want to see how history could have been, not how history definitely was. If I want to know who won the World Series in 1875, I can just look it up. And I can tell you it was nobody because the World Series didn't exist yet. But I just don't like that. That's just me, though. And you know what? Maybe you have a different opinion. And that's totally fine. There you go, recalculating ratings based on the real stats. I think this is a nice change. I think 3 years is good because otherwise what you would get is like Babe Ruth now making out of AAA because he has a terrible first year. And obviously, he may not have always been a Hall of Fame, but he's a pretty good baseball player. One other thing I just noticed, and I give OOTP credit for including it, because it did exist in real life, but we will not be playing with the color barrier turned on. It's just not happening. And if it does get turned on, I will immediately turn it off as soon as I figure that out. And I see this here. Expansion teams draft first. I'm going to check that box because I'm pretty sure that's the way that they've always done it in the majors. But, anywho, that's where we are. Now to the Keokuk Westerns, who live in a town of approximately 30,000 people. Can we win the World Series with this team? Oh, God. Oh, God. Here's the good news. We have a couple of players who are not objectively terrible. They're not great, but they're not objectively terrible. The problem is that those players are few and far between. If we do a quick look at the team home screen, it's Tommy Bond in a pile of garbage. So this is not going to be a this is not going to be a quick rebuild. It's just not. How do we look in our finances? This is fine. I'm going to ever so slightly increase our draft budget because we're going to have a pretty good draft pick, and I'd like to use it to our advantage. And here we go. The St. Louis and the two St. Louis teams are going to get the first round picks. We're going to pick at number 4, and that's fine. But yeah, this is a bad team. It's a very bad team. And I'm hopeful that we can do something to make that team less bad this season. But we'll just have to find out. Right. Thank you to Mike Barry. I think that was your last name. For the facts about the population of Keokuk, Iowa, which is pretty funny. But that's okay. Philadelphia had their chance, and they blew it. Now, I could also submit a protection list. But here's the thing. Like, 2/3 of the players on this team are hot garbage. I don't need to protect... Oh, I've already did that, didn't I? Yeah, I did it at the end of last season. That's fine. Let us go up to the Hall of Fame voting, which we all know isn't going to happen because there isn't anybody. We have news, friends. And if you click on cast your ballot, there's literally no one that's eligible because you have to be in the major leagues for 10 years. We haven't played 10 seasons yet. Now, I don't want to trade anybody because I'd lose them in the expansion draft. Batting leaders. Nice. And we are at draft time. This may end up being the first episode that has 2 seasons in it. We'll see how long it takes. There is one Hall of Famer on this list, which is Pud Galvin. I mean, there are some decent players here, don't get me wrong, but these are not players to necessarily build around. The real benefit, though, is there's a ton of great pitchers in this draft, which give us an opportunity to grab a great hitter. I have no doubt that the AI is going to focus on the pitcher. It's what I would do if I were drafting an expansion team. You need to have a pitcher first. So I'm going to look at all players. There's my boy, Dan Collins, who I won like 12 World Series with as the Cleveland Spiders. But I'm not going to draft him. Like, if we look at this, right, all these are pitchers, and I can easily see Tricky Nichols and George Bradley going as the top 2. Let's find out, right? Jim Keenan, an interesting choice, and certainly not the choice I would have made. Jim Keenan has a fantastic future ahead of him. There's no disputing that. I am not at all confident that he'll reach those levels, though. And as we can see here, his actual major league career was actually pretty shit. There's one pitcher. And there's the other. Now, I don't really have any need to grab a pitcher. I'm okay with Tommy Bond, at least for the short term. So it's about who's the best hitter we could select. Let's look at Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones is the kind of offensive force we can build around. He's got an insane amount of power, a very good contact hitter, with a possibility to develop discipline. As we can see in real life, he was a pretty solid player, but not even close to Hall of Fame worthy. But he's still an excellent first-round pick. The only other player with his level of potential is Bill Harbridge. And Bill Harbridge is just not as good. I get that we want to build for the future. That is definitely a thing that I am considering. But he's at least 2 years away from being an effective contributor, so I'm going to take Charlie Jones. I think it's just the right move, and I'm going to go ahead and meet his demand. Alright. Fred Warner is clearly the best player remaining. He's got a decent bit of power, and he's a pretty good outfielder, but he doesn't have a lot else to recommend him. But that's basically it, though, isn't it? He's basically as good as it gets, so I will happily draft him. And then are there any other interesting players left in this draft? There's a bunch of relievers. I'm wondering if it wouldn't be a terrible decision to take a reliever. I kind of think it might be a good idea. Are there any other interesting batters left? Does anyone have excellent contact potential? What about if I include... No. literally everyone is terrible. Let's take a John Abadi and hope that he develops as a hitter. And do we have anyone who's like an amazing defender? Good old unknown Quinn. I'm going to take John Lowry. That's fine. Are there any other good players left at all in the draft? Larry Ressler. I don't call him good, but I'll take him anyway. I can take any one of these one players, and I'm going to take him. The draft has ended, and we did okay. I'm not saying that we're going to win the World Series, because we're not. I would be pleased if we finish 500 in the next 2 seasons. This team is in too rough a shape. This is going to be a multi-year build. I feel pretty confident saying that. And that's with a pretty good start at pitcher in Tommy Bond. Let's go up to the Rule 5. Oh, we didn't do the expansion draft yet. You're right. Complete this draft. No. And apparently the fans really like Denny Mack, but I couldn't have done anything with him because that rule wasn't disabled at the right time. George Knigget. I'm going to put you in Keokuk. Which reminds me that now that we have him, I have no need for McDoulan. Can I get anything of any interest for him? Because otherwise I'm just going to cut him. I'm getting some reasonably good offers here. Like, Candy Nelson is miles better than anyone else on our roster. I could take John McMullen, and we can have a pretty doggone good right fielder. Let's do it. Let's acquire John McMullen. And then you're going to be playing right field, Mr. McMullen, because you're a marginally better right fielder. Good. Good. And then Charlie Jones, I'm going to promote you, and you're going to play left field. We now went from having pretty much 0 competent hitters to 2 competent hitters. I think there's nobody in the pool, so we'll just finish the draft. I feel better about this team now. I still don't think we have a snowball's chance in hell in making the World Series. He's even increased my budget. What a guy. Like, there's a whole lot of garbage on this roster. Don't get me wrong. But we've at least added 2 potentially elite level hitters. And that's going to help us get closer to competency in the future. Hey, it's my old pal Dickie Pierce. How did he end up? Oh, right. I remember you. You're a good dude. I like you. Why do you think I want John McMullen to be a starting pitcher? What would possess you to think that's a thing that I want? Are you... And Charlie Jones just became like a megastar, which is pretty exciting. Please tell me you're not listed as a two-way player. Good. You are a hitter. You will be doing nothing else with baseballs until then. We're just going to start spring training. And I'm going to go ahead and let the AI set things up. Give him something to do. Oh man, this is really tough. You're literally anything else. Then we'll sim up to the next month. There's a new Michael Campbell. Maybe he should learn how to hit, and then he'd be even better. I'm a saying. Like, I don't care about service time games, so I guess I could just sim up to opening day. Is there anyone who is a combination of wealthy and bad that I can just cut to save money? McMullen's good. Kelly is okay. Trading Kelly wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. I mean, you're not very good. Alright, I'm going to try to trade Bill Kelly. For very good reason. Because I don't think his offensive skill set is going to be one that's going to impress me. He's a guy who draws walks and doesn't strike out. Which just isn't good enough in this period. I'm going to shop him and see what we can acquire. I can get a less bad shortstop. And then I could turn around and trade my shortstop too, right? Because John Radcliffe is actually a decent shortstop, unlike the guy I've got now. Let's do it. Let's acquire us a John Radcliffe, right? Do it. The fans are sad about Bill Kelly, but they'll be happy when we actually don't lose every game. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to flip C.A. Snyder. Because he's just not very good. Can I upgrade in center? That would be quite nice. Like, Art Allison is most certainly not a bad player. Let's do it. Alright. We've rebuilt the roster a fair bit, and I think we've made it significantly better in the process. I'm not saying that we've got all the solutions to all of our problems, but I am saying that we're a better team now than we were when we started, basically. And I'm going to... Oh, I didn't even put him on the roster. That was a pretty stupid move. Because I'm going to be honest with you, my friends. It is highly unlikely that we're going to do anything important this season. Finishing 500 would be a minor miracle. And so what we're trying to do is just we're trying to acquire players who are improvements and see where that takes us, right? I like Tommy Bond getting worse. That's a bit disconcerting. Charlie Jones is the number 4 prospect in the land. Pud Galvin, I'm really curious to see how he does. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and shortlist him. Because if we look at his real life stats, he won 364 games. Which is just insane, right? 6,000 innings pitch. What he was IRL, though, was an accumulator. He wasn't a big peak guy. And that's why I'm curious to see how he'll do in our league, or if he'll improve over time. Alright. Things have been done. Let us build ourselves a team. Nuke them all. Alright, first and foremost, you go to the DL. Second and second most, John McMullen is our number 3 hitter. And Charlie Jones is our number 4 hitter. Now, interestingly, the one player we have that's good at getting on base is also a left fielder. And we don't have a DH. So, I don't know what we're going to do about that. If I sort by contact. Yikes. I guess it's Bub McAdee out of sheer lack of options. Because he's the only player who's got a decent bit of contact and a decent bit of ability to draw walks. So, Bub, I hope you don't suck. Ironically, the clear best hitter we've got on the team is Dickie Pierce for that, but he's a terrible shortstop. I'm actually going to release him. I'm not going to pay a player that isn't very good. I'm going to make Art Allison our number 2 hitter. And then I'm going to bat John Radcliffe as the number 5 hitter. I still need catcher, second, and third. Ed Duffy is nothing to write home about. You gone. I know I could be trading these players, but to be frank, I can't be bothered. I guess Tommy Beals is going to be our second baseman. He's not the worst choice to bat 6th, on this team anyway. Third. I'm going to play a Herm there just because Herm is actually a decent fielder, even though he can't hit. And then I'm going to bat Nold and Nodal as my catcher. How is Tommy Bond as a hitter? He is arguably one of the better hitters on the team. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a spot in the lineup. I'm going to let him bat 6th for now. You will play Barrett when I tell you to. Copy, copy. Paste and paste. Pitching is done. Do not use starting pitchers in relief. That's what I got Georgie boy here for. Let's go already. Oh, right. You're not allowed to have that many players on the active roster. That's fine. Tom Barry, you're gone. Joe Simmons, there is no reason to keep you. John Shepard, enjoy your life. Tom Patterson, nope. I certainly don't need Tom Pratt. That goes without saying. And then probably another outfielder. Let's get rid of Caleb Johnson. There we go. Now I have a legal number of players on my roster. Oh, god damn it. I always forget to do that, and it's one of the more frustrating things that we do here. Anyone here that I definitely would like to keep? Krabby Tom, maybe. And then what about our bench coach? He is a vortex of suck who neither offers anything good nor anything bad. Most importantly, though, we need a new pitching coach because we need to make Tommy Bond feel happy. So I'm probably going to let you go. And then all the minor leaguers stay. Some things happened. Very good. Jim Britt was the number one pitcher in the AL again. I'm not surprised. George Knight. Why does he have 21 innings pitched? Why is he starting? This is a one-man rotation. God damn it, game. I mean, I'm glad he had such a fine episode, or a fine bit of time there, but... Some changes here, nothing too surprising. Hey, Tommy Bond was best pitcher in the month. Of course he is. How's our team looking so far? We are not hitting super well. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Bub McAdee, I'm honestly a bit shocked he's hitting so well, but I'll take it. How is Tommy Bonds at hitting the baseball? You don't like slackers or selfish players. Well, who do you consider to be a slacker? Here it is. So, Tommy Bond is a jerk. I mean, I will cut Henry Burroughs right now. But I don't have a better second baseman, so... We need like a team captain or a spark plug, I guess. It is what it is. Player development keeps happening. Cap Anson, the best hitter in the majors. What a shock. Okay. Let's go up to the All-Star teams. All right. Tommy Bond is the starter, as he should be. Who else from Keo made it? John McMullen did. That's honestly probably 2 more players than I should have, but I'll take it nonetheless. I shall take it. Wow, Charlie Jones no longer makes even the top 10. Yikes. Alright, dude. Why do we care about Jim O'Rourke? Oh, because that was set for League. That's right. That's fine. You will give me Ed Duffy for a player who actually doesn't suck. Can I offer you a second opinion? No. Just absolutely not. I don't want a 30-year-old third baseman. Denied. We're at the trade deadline. Is there anyone that we would like to trade? I don't think so. I mean, I can try to trade John Radcliffe. Because he's not very good. And he's a pretty terrible hitter. And just see what kind of other offers I get for him. But I have a sneaking suspicion I'm not going to get much. Because I want a shortstop who's at least as good as he is defensively. And it just seems like that's not an option. So that's fine. We can very easily get rid of people as we need to. Roster expansion. Now remember when I said this is going to be a multi-year rebuild, and there's certainly nothing here that leads me to challenge that. I'm going to set this to my entire organization. I'm tired of getting these emails that have nothing to do with me. I just don't find that helpful. Hey, Charlie Jones is leading the league in home runs, though, so that's something. And I've already been eliminated. Nice. Tommy Bond got 5 hits. I appreciate that. Pair of shutouts. This is good stuff. We still can't hit, but we're better at hitting. At least we won more than 6 games. Yikes. Like, Tommy Bond is, if you ignore his win-loss record, one of the best pitchers in the league. Why are you angry? Oh, because you don't like some of the players on the team. That's fine. We'll make some changes in the off-season. Don't worry about it, my friend. Alright, so the regular season's over. What went well? Besides Tommy Bond, obviously. Charlie Jones was everything we'd hoped for. I'd like to see a bit more contact from him, especially in the dead ball era, but other than that, he's extremely productive. I like that. Art Allison is also a nice little rookie. I didn't expect him to be, or not a rookie, sorry, a nice little acquisition. Good power, got on base, played pretty solid center field. John McMullen was a very worthwhile acquisition. His power is a bit disappointing, but I'm sure he'll get there. Then there's Herm Dosher, who we drafted in our inaugural draft. His defense must have been pretty spectacular. It was. And then the rest of the team is ranged from acceptable to pretty bad. We do need to start trying to improve team chemistry. But the problem is that, like, John McMullen's actually a good player. And I'm never getting rid of Tommy Bond. If people think he's on the way out, they are sadly mistaken. Now, we can get rid of Tommy Beals and we can get rid of Henry Burroughs once we have decent replacements. I don't think that's a big ask. We could probably also use a new bench coach to help with our... Alright, Christian Griffin. If I put you on the Major League roster, Tommy Bond would hate you. Steve Harrison. Three mediocre players would hate you, but other than that, you'd be in good shape. I'm going to fire my bench coach. I'm going to make Steve Harrison my Major League bench coach. There we go. And then I'm going to promote you. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. It was Steve Harrison, right? Unless, you know, Brian Short's even better. No, he doesn't get along with Tommy Bond. That's fine. Sorry, Steve. I was messing with you. There we go. Yeah, I meant you to be my new Double-A manager. And then you can be my new A-ball manager. And I just promoted the hitting coach. God damn it. I don't want him to be the head pitching coach. I want him to be the manager. Oh, doesn't want to be the manager for Chicago. Because he is the manager for Chicago. Then fine. You know what, buddy? You're fired. I'm sick of your crap. Yeah, we clean house. Meaningless, meaningless house. Right. That's all well and good. And we'll need to get a new pitching coach, but I think... Actually... What is Tommy Bond's style? He doesn't have one. So you know what we're going to do? I'm just gonna once we let what's his face go, I'm just gonna instantly promote my AAA guy. I can have John Farrow back now. That is a thing we can do. And the New York Mutuals won the World Series. Good for them. I think that is an extremely good thing to be proud of. I made a lot of progress in one bloody year. So you can take a long walk off a short pier, my dude. Alright, let's get a new pitching coach. Felix Martinez? Absolutely. Then I need a manager. Nick Young, I like the cut of your jib, possibly. Then I need a hitting coach. I can hire Bobby Boonen. Let's do it. This poor guy, he's just like, I want to be a hitting coach. And then I'm like, sorry, dude, you're the manager now. And he's like, what the shit? And then I fired him. And now I've brought him back. Oh, poor Bobby. One thing that a commenter definitely brought up, that is a good thing to have brought up, is the fact that if you don't increase your ticket price, your owner might not give you as big a budget. He brought up in the Baltimore Orioles series, and I'm definitely going to put that into effect going forward. But in this game, meh. Tommy Bond could theoretically win the Cy Young, but I bet he doesn't. Oh yeah, Art Allison and Tommy Bond both won Gold Gloves. Hey, my dude Pud Galvin. Nice. Got my coaches. No Silver Slugger. Hey, Charlie Jones won Rookie of the Year. Very nice. I mean, he did hit 4 home runs. And if that's not, you know, the most brilliant hitter of all time, I don't know who is. Now, how close was Tommy Bond to winning Cy Young? He got a couple of first place votes. It's like, strictly speaking, by WAR, he was the best pitcher in the league. But I get it. And I'm okay with it. And it's because we didn't make the playoffs. I think if we'd made the playoffs, I think we would have had a fair chance. But we didn't. Too bad. So sad. On to our second season. I'm just going to go right to the first year player draft. I don't think there's any reason to stop before then. We need middle infielders. That is the thing that our team could most desperately use. And this is not a season apparently with very good middle infielders. Oh dear. Are there 3 teams in St. Louis, or have they just been hoarding picks? No, there's only 1. Or there's only 2, but yeah, it looks like they didn't sign their first round pick last year. Hey, you know what? I've got a top 5 pick in a draft that has 6 or 7 pretty good hitters. I will take it, my friends. John Morrill. You're not a great second baseman, but you're a pretty good first baseman, and you are a potentially legendary hitter. I am all for it. Put some John Morrill in my life, please and thank you. Pete Tracy's actually kind of an okay shortstop, so I'm going to take him too. And the draft is now concluded. I am more than happy with even just a one-player draft because, oh lord, that player. Plus, remember, Tommy Beals is one of the disruptive influences on the team. What can I get for you? I can get Pony Sager, who's not very good. Howard Wall, who is frankly an amazing shortstop, even if he can't hit all that well. I kind of like Howard Wall. I mean, yeah, there's good pitchers I could grab, but who needs that many pitchers in this era? I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for an amazing defensive shortstop. And he is that. Welcome aboard. I feel like you should try to throw in Pat McGee. Sure. He likes the deal? How about Al Nichols, too? I like how I'm just taking their entire farm system and they're okay with that. Let's do it. I more wanted Tommy Beals off the team than I wanted anyone on the team. Alright, Johnny. Up to Keokuk. Look, I know he's not a great second baseman, but I'm kind of okay with him on this team. Now, I do know that one of the things that we're not doing correctly is that we're not letting him develop in the minors, and there's probably an argument for that. You're actually a pretty decent shortstop. We'll see. But at this point, we need all the help we can get if we're to have anything like an okay season. And quit arbitrarily changing the positions of my players. Please stop. Just don't do it. I'm going to trade Fred Cone. And I'm going to see what we can get for him. I get Charlie Mills, who's not a good catcher. I don't really need another catcher, if I'm honest with you. That's fine. The other possibility is that we flip McAtee for a second baseman who'll probably never have higher value than he does right this minute. For a real good second baseman, I would trade him. And then I can move the rookie over to first, where he'll be in better position. But there isn't a real good second baseman, so that's fine. We will complete the Rule 5 draft because I'm pretty sure no one is eligible for it. And we're just going to go right to the start of spring training without stopping. You're designated for assignment. Oh, right. Right. Can I get anything at all for John Radcliffe? I kind of just want him off my team. You know what? I'm going to take Denny Clare. Because here's what I'm going to do. This lets me not rush Morrill. I can let him play in AAA and just get used to playing. And Denny Clare can stand around at second base for a season. I think this is perfectly fine. I have no issues with this whatsoever. I also don't need 3 catchers. I just don't. And John Farrow is the odd man out. Because Barrett's a better hitter and Nodell's a much better defender. What can I acquire for you, my friend? I could get another second baseman who's even better. That's pretty cool. Maybe I will do that. Nah, I'm not going to bother. I'm happy with what I've got. I can just release Farrow. Are any of my catchers jerks? I'm going to release Henry Burroughs. He is an interesting player, though, is the thing. I'm going to keep Farrow, and I might trade him later on. Because just like this past season we just finished, I'm not going to the playoffs in Season 2 either. There's still too much that has to be done. So rushing to put players in the majors is... I like how he just keeps giving me more money. Like he thinks that's going to make a difference. I'm going to put $2,000 in the development budget. I'm going to put another $2,000 in scouting. I've got literally nothing better to do with this money. Done. I don't know where he's getting this money from. He must be like an oil baron who just happened to live in Iowa. Maybe. Spring training. Do all the things, please and thank you. I don't mind Morrill getting some at-bats in spring training. That's fine. And I'll just replace him once the season starts. Oh, neat. That's pretty good. Oh, you know what? Who is set to manage the minors? Is it me or is it the AI? It is the AI. No, it's me. I set promotions and demotions. Okay. Well, I'm going to take the AI's advice. That seems good to me. And then I will try to get a little bit more involved in who does what. I'm not playing games with service time. But yeah, there's no way I'm letting Moral play this year if there's a chance that I can let him become a megastar by just getting used to playing Triple A and Triple A. He's too good. He's a potential foundational player when it comes to the bat. Well, you got slightly better at second base, and your speed got better. You're hitting more for contact. Your power shot through the roof. I've got the number 4 prospect. Neat. Mr. Morrill, you're going to be starting the season in AAA. I want you to just practice. I want you to have less to worry about, so on and so forth. Alright, let's nuke the lineups and nuke the depth chart. You'll notice I've just left the pitching staff alone. Mr. Bond, how did you hit last season? You were okay. You were better than average. You just weren't mega thrilling. So that's completely fine to me. We'll find a good spot for you in the order. Alright, when it comes to contact, McMullen is the best. McMullen hits third. Jones hits cleanup. I don't have anywhere to play you, Fred Cone. I'm going to try Art Allison as our leadoff guy, just because McAdee wasn't very good at it. You can hit 6th. I'm going to let Tommy Bond hit 2nd, and we're going to see how that works out for us. Herm, you're going to play 3rd. Henry Burroughs is almost too good a hitter to have on the bench, but I don't know where else to put him. Right, I'm going to try Barrett as the catcher. I'll even let Barrett hit 5th. Denny Clare, you're going to hit 8th and play 2nd. And Howard, my dude, you bat 9th with a bullet. You really want Farrow to play, and I'm not sure why. You can play once a week, and then Nodal can play once every 10 games. There we go. Copy. Copy. Paste, paste. Good. On to the season. And then Mr. Morrill, let me make sure that you're shortlisted. Well, I've got to say, in less than 100 at-bats, he's already hit 4 homers, and he's just destroying baseballs. Which is really good news. It is, in fact, fantastic news. All right. Player development. How's Morrill? He's just getting better at everything, which is exactly what I hoped for. He's still not a great second baseman, but my word is he a talented hitter. And I'm going to let him develop even further. I am not going to rush him. Hey, I had the best hitter in the majors, and I had the best pitcher in the majors. Beautiful. You've hit 22 homers in AAA. I don't. How? How good is my actual second baseman now? He is pretty terrible. Alright. Here's what's extra weird. We're actually kind of close to making the majors. Oh, sorry, not making the majors, but, yeah, screw it. Moral. You are my new leadoff guy. Here, you're gonna bat 8th, Allison. You're gone. Moral is leadoff. Like, even though Moral is just the dirt worst at playing second, he's such an amazing hitter that I can't bench him. It can't be done. I really don't like them saying that I should start Pharaoh every other game. Like, I tried to keep him in the minors, but he was too ridiculous. Nice. Tommy Bond, once again. And George Knight, both of my pitchers. Very nice. John McMullen and Charlie Jones. Beautiful. Okay. All the minor leaguers, you get re-signed. Pitching coach. You're doing a good job. You can come back. Victor Cruz, you're doing a fantastic job. You can come back. And sure, we'll bring back our team trainer as well. As for Ryan Hall, John Morrill likes you. So guess what, my dude? You're gonna stick around. And hopefully I get brought back too. Are you brain damaged, Philadelphia? I know John Peters is real good. I would never give you 3 players for him. We can talk about it. You'd only do it for Tommy Bond, and I'm not giving you Tommy Bond. Once it's a trade deadline, we might make a couple of moves. Bill Lennon is trash. He's real trash. Alright, stop asking for... Stop trying to offer me Bill Lennon. It's not happening, dude. Hey, we got a triple play. A fly ball triple play. Nice. Alright. We're not as close to the playoffs as I thought we might be. But John Morrill has been very good. He's a pretty bad second baseman, but I'm sure we can address that eventually. Yeah, I don't have the offense to carry us through. It's a shame, but it's what we've got. Yeah, we really just need more talent with the bat. I know I keep saying that, but it keeps being true. There was this tiny window when we might have made a big move and made it, but it's not happening. John Morrill's eye got better, his speed got better, his potential's getting better. Charlie Jones is good. John McMullen is good. Nice. Now we're going to have probably a top 4 pick. There's not a lot of players who I can look at and tell you definitively that yes, they were great major league players. This might just be a crappy draft. That's fine if it's what happens to be. Now, is the reason we're losing because Tommy Bond is getting tired, or... Oh. He can no longer do this, can he? I need another starting pitcher. I need to take some of the weight off of Tommy Bond. I didn't even realize that we were at that many games a season. Whoops. So basically, here's what's been happening. Tommy Bond has basically been blowing out his arm, and then George Knight's been coming in to finish it up. We definitely need a second starter. Maybe even 3. I know now. I distinctly remembered pitchers lasting even longer than that, but maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken. But yeah, if we're running 100-game seasons now, I am not having one pitcher do it. That's just silly that I even thought that Tommy Bond should be pitching that often. Yeah, we're doing 90-game seasons at this point. And I don't want to blow his arm out. Lucky pitched 2 days ago. He's just slightly tired. Yeah, I think we want 2 starters at this point. Look, let's look at Boston, right? Because we know that Jim Britt is amazing. Jim Britt started only 60 games. And was still amazing. But it looks like they had their relief pitcher start about 40 games. And that's probably the right call. Let's go ahead and end the playoffs. The Mutuals won a second time. That's 2 straight for the New York Mutuals. But here's the real question. Did I get a new contract? I did. Alright. What? How are all of my players on the prospect report? Are there just no other prospects? Do they win by default? I don't know. But here's what I do know. I do know that I'd like to thank you all for watching. Things are going slow. But I'm going to take a pretty big part of the blame because he should not be starting every game anymore. He did lead the league in wins. He also led the league in losses. Yeah, if he's going to have any kind of lengthy career, I need to let him not pitch every single day. Just get a second pitcher, let him pitch a bit, and then we'll go from there. So that's one of the things I'm going to target in the draft. I'm going to try to pick up another starter. But other than that, this is a 3-hitter team. It's Charlie Jones, John McMullen, and now John Morrill. And John still has light years of talent available to him. But I also think we probably need to get him off of second base. Like, he wasn't, like, objectively horrible, but he wasn't good either. But yeah, we don't have enough offensive talent anywhere, really. And so that's another area we have to fix. We've got a lot of very talented players. We've certainly improved the overall talent level. We just need to take some of the load off of Tommy Bond and start trying to develop a more systematic approach to having good players. Did anyone else start as many games as Tommy Bond? Was it even close? Or am I just behind the two-man revolution? That's strikeouts. Tommy Bond was third. Where's just games started? 51 complete games. I mean, I led the league in innings pitched by over 200. Which is definitely a thing that happened. Let me go by sortable stats. Pitching stats. Games started, please. All pitchers. Yeah, it's Tommy Bond and then it's everyone else in the league. That can't happen again, and I deeply apologize to you, Tommy Bond. You will not be pitching that much next season. I probably need a second starter, or at least a good backup pitcher. Maybe. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.